It is now 4 p.m. on June 13th Beijing time, and there are still EURUSD short orders entering the market above 1.0768, so there is no new point for it yesterday. The news on Monday was light, and the market was extremely worried about the US CPI and the Fed's resolutions this week. The bets were extremely cautious. EURUSD was still within a narrow range of 1.0740 to 1.0800 yesterday, and the larger range was 1.0705 and 1.0850. It still needs to break through according to the situation announced by the CPI. If the CPI announced tonight meets the expectation of 4.1% or is lower than expected, the probability of an upward breakthrough in EURUSD is relatively high. If the CPI is significantly higher than the expectation of 4.1%, EURUSD will fall. And the short orders entering the market above 1.0768 can be lightly held, set a stop loss and continue to hold. Then there's gold. Yesterday's video suggested 1948 to 1937 to be long. After the release, the lowest price was 1949.26. It was only 13 points away from the entry point, and there was no transaction. It rose to 1965.5 ahead of schedule, with a cumulative increase of 162 points. The direction was correct, but it did not enter the market. It is not included in the statistic chart of transaction orders. This week, the Federal Reserve will intervene in the market a lot. In particular, a new vice chairman will be ushered in to manage monetary policy, and he will also explain his views at the press conference. You have to wait for the key point to reduce the number of positions and set a stop loss to operate. In addition to the fact that the operating profit of the intraday signals is not enough, now EA program is constantly and rapidly replacing manual transactions, and the Laudai's master account has also been using EA programs to make high-weight targets, such as EURUSD and GBPUSD. Today's net profit is $8,426.7 and the monthly income is 10 to 17%. If you are interested, you can also add the contact information at the top of the screen to find me and ask for the observation password of Laudai's main account. And then you can log in to see the whole process of real-time operation. If it is suitable for you, consider joining the traders group or participating in account management business. How to operate today? Because we still hold EURUSD long orders, we will not make new positions for the time being and wait for a good selling opportunity. However, gold fluctuated for nearly a month from 1932 to 1984. The intention of continuing to fluctuate in a range before the Fed's decision this Thursday is obvious. Because the CPI data will be released at 8:30 tonight Beijing time, the volatility and risk will be enlarged at the same time. It is recommended to wait for the key points before trading. The bottom 1950 to 1930 is the lower edge of the shock range. You can do long positions below 1945 and use the low position of 1932 as a defense. There are many resistance above, such as 1973 and 1985. But the fundamentals are supporting the price of gold. In the short term, we need to wait for a more favorable position above 1987 before selling short positions, and use the 2000 level as a defense. Aggressive friends go long on gold from 1945 to 1934, put a stop loss at 1932. At the same time, gold can be sold short in 1987 to 1998 with a stop loss of 2000. In addition to Europe and gold, 2 to 3 products will be selected from the 5 targets of GBP, AUD, JPY, silver, and crude oil, including their supports, resistance, and directions will be given for reference. The upper part is yesterday's signal review chart, and the lower part is today's point of view sharing, but it is only recommended for traders who have a certain short-term trading basis. The target point is not placed on the video. Laudai will also watch the market trend and notify more accurate selling tips in the group. Scan the QR code on the top of the screen for cooperation consultation and contact me. Finally, I will give you a famous quote from Carol Burnett.